Hey everyone, welcome to May's Lug Life. I'm May, and I just thought I'd bring you a little list of some tips and tricks that I'm hoping that you can use to help get you through the official Lug warehouse sale coming next week. So maybe you've never been to a warehouse sale or you've never been to a Lug warehouse sale. I thought I'd come up with a few little things that I have learned over the years with some experience of going to just regular warehouse sales and going specifically to the Lug ones. I thought I'd bring a few things to you to help you get through your warehouse sale experience very quickly, efficiently, and hopefully as stress-free as possible, because sometimes it can be a little bit of a ordeal and it can be incredibly overwhelming. If you're a lug nut walking into a lug warehouse sale, it can be quite daunting, and sometimes your emotions get the best of you, and maybe you're not making the best choices and doing the best things for your budget or for your time or for your body. So I just thought I'd bring a few little tips and tricks to help you get through your day. Okay, so if you didn't see my previous video with the official announcement, here it is again. This is the announcement that Lug made. They posted it on their Facebook page, I think a couple of days ago now, with all the information that you need to be able to get to the warehouse sale. Now, if anybody for some reason needs the postal code, just leave me a comment below that you want the postal code. I can look that up for you. But also just make a really clear note here that they say debit and credit only. They are not taking cash this year. So if you've been to previous lug sales when they used to take all forms of payment, now they are only taking debit and credit. So no cash at all. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so here's a list of a few things just to think about, maybe prepare before the sale. So the days leading up to the sale, maybe get all these things ready and organized, and things maybe that you can think about so that when you arrive at the sale, you can be as efficient as possible and be as healthy as possible. So 1, consider coming early. If you're going to come early, you will get the best selection. The sale will be the most organized. You're going to get clear signs, and everything's going to be really well organized in all the boxes. So if you're in a real hurry and you only have a limited amount of time to spend at the sale, the best time would be to come is like right as soon as they open, because everything is still completely organized before people start getting in there and rummaging through all the boxes and moving things around. So at least when you walk in, you can just sort of go from one box to the next and see clearly what's available to you, grab all your stuff, get your sale items and leave, and then not have to worry about having to dig through all the bins, because that definitely becomes more and more messy as time goes on. Be ready to wait in line. So if you do come early, there will be a lineup outside the door. I don't know how long it's going to be because I don't know how many people are going to be there, but there's always a lineup when you first arrive. Now, there might be more of a lineup if there are more people all throughout the day. So just keep that in mind, that even if you come a little bit later, you might still have to wait. I don't know how much space they've got inside the warehouse sale this year, whether it's going to be extra crowded, so they might not be able to let you in simply because there's no space. And also when you're checking out, there's always a really long lineup there as well. So just make sure that you account for that for your time, especially if you are limited for time. So do be ready that you have to be standing around for a little while. Number 3, wear comfortable shoes and clothes, especially if you're standing outside for a little while. Make sure that you're dressed appropriately. So check the weather. Make sure that if in your car you've got your umbrella and your sweater and all the things that you might need in case if it rains or if it's super, super hot. Make sure you wear sunscreen. The shoes that you're wearing, really make sure they're comfortable. You are going to possibly be standing on concrete the entire time. If you're standing outside, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of shade because it is an industrial area. It's not like there's a place that you can sort of hang out. So wear really comfortable, loose clothing. Make sure that the shoes are super, super supportive and strong. Don't wear your stilettos. And like I said, sunscreen is really, really important, and bring all the things in case the weather gets really, really weird. Number 4, bring water, bring snacks. So again, if I'm assuming most of you are driving, if that's the case, bring a little cooler with some water and snacks so that if you are indeed waiting outside, that you're not sort of dehydrating. And if you plan on spending a fair bit of time inside the warehouse sale because you're really going to be stocking up, or this is like your big day, or you've made a really, really long trip and you want to make sure that that you've looked at everything and you've touched every item and that you really made good purchases, then you could be there for a while. So you may actually need to run to the car and snack on a couple of things and then come back so that you don't, get sick and not think straight. And maybe keep a little granola bar in your purse and maybe a small water bottle so that even when you're inside the sale, you can take a couple swigs of water just in case, because it is going to be quite hot here, I think, this next week. Number 5, pack small, pack light. So when you're walking into the actual sale, make sure that you're not bringing a really large bag. It tends to be quite crowded in there. There's a lot of people, a lot of big boxes. You can easily, get something caught on something, or if you're, carrying a really large bag, you are going to be banging around with other people. And especially if you're actually buying a lot of stuff, you're going to have to be carrying your purchases as well. There's no shopping carts. It's all just sort of a big giant plastic bag. So if you're buying a lot of stuff, if you also got something on your shoulder or something on your wrist, you're going to be in big trouble because it's going to get cumbersome very quickly. And by the same token, number 6, try to be hands-free. So you may want to bring like a small backpack. I used a Canter. It was perfect. You may want to, bring a small Orbit, some kind of little small backpack so that you're completely hands-free, but not so that you're bumping into people and whacking people in the face as you turn around quickly to get that favorite bag that you just saw in the other corner. If you're going to wear a crossbody, make sure it's small and thin. It's not going to be a huge thing. Like, don't bring a jumper or anything like that. Don't bring a bag that's going to be worn on the crook of your arm, and definitely do not wear a wristlet strap. So anything on a wristlet, leave that at home. So when you're kind of go minimal, but put a strap on, like a crossbody strap, because a wristlet strap, if you put your arm inside a bin full of stuff, your wristlet strap may not come back with you, and you're not going to know what happened to your wallet, because especially if you've got a lug wallet, if it goes into a big bin full of lug stuff, you're going to lose that, and maybe someone's going to take your wallet and not realize it because they think it's part of the sale. So just make sure that you leave all those things at home. Number 7, if you're like me, you may have to set some time limits for yourself so that you actually leave there before it closes. And if you are going to be doing that and you do have a little bit of a time constraint, make sure that you put little notifications on your phone to maybe go off every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes so that you don't get lost and lose track of time, because there is so much stuff to look at. There's so many great deals, and you can very easily, very quickly get overwhelmed and get caught up and be, looking at just one bin full of stuff and then not realize you haven't even seen the rest of the sale and you had to go 15 minutes ago. So think about how much time that you've got. Maybe give yourself a little buffer on either side, or just in case you do lose track of time, but do put a little notification, a little alarm or whatever it is on your phone so that you don't spend the entire day, unless you've got the time. If you've got the time, then obviously don't worry. But if you do have time constraints, putting a little alarm on your phone is actually a really, really good way to remind yourself as to how much time you've already spent. Same thing with your price. So with your purchase limits, how much can you actually spend? So number 8 is make sure that you have a budget for yourself. Decide how much you're going to spend, because once you get into a warehouse sale, it's so easy to be like, oh, well, that's, and it used to be 80 and now it's 20. I'll just put that in my bag. And by the time you're done, it felt like, 20 here, 20 there. It wasn't really much, but all of a sudden you've got $250 worth of stuff. So you may want to set yourself a little budget, and you also want to maybe add a little bit of a buffer. Same thing, because if you happen to see your unicorn bag or, some crazy deal that you never expected, I don't know, let's say, for example, the duffels, the, trolley duffels, they used to be $200, and, for some freaky reason, there's one sitting there $45. You didn't plan on it, but all of a sudden, that $45 duffel is like the best deal ever, and you really, really want it because it's such a great deal. So just keep that in mind as well. Number 9, bring more than one method of payment. And the reason why I say that is because it happened when I was there a couple of years ago. There was a lady who was at the front of the line. She was all ready to go. Her purchases were packed into a little bag with the thing tied off, and she was trying to get her card to work, and it didn't work. They tried it every other way. They even manually put the numbers in. It wasn't working. So she was holding up the line. She was really, really embarrassed, but she didn't want to leave her stuff because that was the only other alternative. So she had to call her husband to go home, get the credit card from her other bag, and drive it to the sale. So she ended up waiting for an extra half an hour at least, because by the time we left, she was still there. I don't know how long it took her, but so you may want to bring an extra method of payment. And the other thing that you may want to do, I know some people have the ability to program that into their phone so that you can use your phone to pay. So you may want to put that in your phone if you haven't already done so. This might be one way to do it. Now, the reason why I also say is because we've been having a few issues with our internet here in this country. There's one company, Rogers, that runs probably half of the lines in this country, both cell phone and internet. So it's been we've been okay. We had one day where it was full on outage across the country, and then there've been sort of spotty days here and there everywhere. So just in case we have another weird outage, because Rogers is being really weird right now, you just might want to have, like a physical card and the one on your phone, and just make sure you got a couple different methods and a couple like a debit card, a MasterCard, and a Visa, and the phone, just so in case something goes down, you're not stuck there, because you don't want to have gone through the entire sale, chosen all these amazing bags, and then have absolutely nothing to pay with. Number 10. This is a really big one for me. I always forget. Make a gift list. So obviously we always have in the back of our heads, our family, our close friends. Those are always people that we're always thinking of getting gifts for. But think about other people, like peripheral people in your life, teachers, coaches, mail carriers, your UPS guy, who keeps bringing us lugs, and concierge, security people, maintenance people, people at work, like coworkers, Secret Santa. So there's all these different things that come up in the year that we don't really think about when it comes to running around looking for, things like lug. But then when that happens, you're like, oh, well, now I have to go out and buy a gift. Well, sometimes you can actually find a really, really good gift at the sale. And I only say this again because I actually saw something a few years ago when I went, and I regretted not getting it at the time. I sort of dismissed it thinking, I don't need it. None of my family needs it. None of my close friends need it. And I left it. And when I came back about a month later, it hit me that I have all of my security guards here in my condo, and there's about 10 of them. And I could have gotten this thing for $10. It would have been the best gift ever, and I would have had Christmas handled, and I wouldn't have had to give them some stupid box of chocolates that cost more and are worth less. I kind of kicked myself for a very long time. I'm still kicking myself that I left that and I didn't get it. So make a list of all those people. If you happen to have any little bits of information like their favorite color or whatever it is, write that down as well. And then when you're at the sale, keep referring to that list, keep looking at it, and see if there's anything that you see in front of you that would make a really good gift. And then you've got Christmas and birthdays or anniversaries, or like I said, Secret Santa, whatever other things, occasions at work, toy drives, all that kind of stuff. Then it's handled, and then you're good, and you got to buy lug with it. So there we go. Hope that makes you think a little bit more, so that when you get there, you can really take advantage of that sale. So this is a list of a few things to think about once you get into the warehouse. So one, it can be very crowded. I have a feeling it actually will be, because this is a big sale. They actually gave us a little bit of a notice. It's the summer, and a lot of people might actually be off and on holidays. So be aware that there will be a lot of people. I don't think that there are going to be any crowd control things. So if you are worried about, things like being too close to people because of distancing and all that, wear a mask. Make sure that you wear an N95 and maybe double up if you're really, really nervous, or if you're immunocompromised, because there will be a lot of people. They are not, I don't think, limiting any crowd control at all. So there's no longer X number of people can only be in this much space. I don't think there's any distancing that's going to happen at all. So just be aware of that. So if you are thinking that's a concern for you, take that into consideration. Number two, when you walk in the door, the staff will give you a little piece of paper. It'll be a price list. And then another thing that they give you will be a big clear garbage bag. When you get there, they're going to probably just give you the one. Try to ask for 2 garbage bags and ask for 2 price lists if possible. They might not give it to you, but if they do, if you have two lists, you can have one deep in your pocket or deep in your bag in case you lose the other one, because it's going to be the guide that you need to be able to figure out how much everything is once you get inside the sale. And if you have one in your hand, and then if you lose it because you put it down, or you picked up a bag and it went into a bag, you didn't realize it, you at least have another little list somewhere else, because they don't post them really big anywhere. The only one that they give you that you can look at is going to be the one that they give you in your hand. The other thing about the garbage bag is sometimes that one thin garbage bag is just not enough. Either your items are too big and too heavy, or because, if they're lugs, there's going to be, little corners and little metal pieces that might actually poke through the plastic. And then you suddenly have this gaping hole, and you've lost, the two wallets and whatever other little thing through the hole that you didn't even know was there. So see if they can give you two. They don't always give you two, but if they will, double up the bag right off the bat, so that when you start putting things in, you've got a slightly little better of a chance of making it through without losing anything in your bag. 3 and 4 are kind of about the same. Eyeball the entire sale when you walk in the door. So as you're walking in the door, you can just look around at the entire space and see what everything looks like and where everything is located. So usually they try to keep things a little bit organized. So you might discover like all the wheelies are in one place, all the accessories are in one bin, all the wallets are in another bin, the packables are in another bin. So if you can see that and you know exactly what you're looking for, or you know that I am here to look for wallets, then you know what? Eyeball the whole place. You don't have to go through the whole circuit. You can just actually go directly to where you see the thing it is that you want. Go and take a look at that. Target where you need to be. Shop all the things that you want to shop first. Also, all the things that you've already put on your list. And then you can start looking around at other things in case something catches your fancy. But do a quick eyeball. And then also, if you are going to do a circuit, like you want to make a circuit, maybe again, kind of like allotting your time, just go, okay, I really, really want to make sure that I get a wallet and a wheelie and a puddle jumper. If you see all those things, you can spend a little bit more time at those, but the rest of them, like give yourself like 2 or 3 minutes to go from one bin to the next and just kind of keep moving so that you can, get through the whole sale. It can be a lot of stuff to look at. So you might want to just make sure that that you eyeball everything. And if you happen to see something you like right off the bat, in the color that you want, or you find your unicorn bag, boom, get there right away, because it will not be there by the time you get there. If you sort of take your time and wander through. I mean, it's possible it'll be there, but it's very likely it won't, because people are going to be grabbing stuff left, right, and center. And especially if they're brand new in bags with tags, those things tend not to stick around too long, unless they're really, really ugly colors and no one wants it. Then you can probably take your time. But if it looks like there are very few, run. Go grab what you need, put it in your bag, decide later if you want it. And that brings me to number 5. Even if you see something that you're not sure about, it's like, I don't know if I want it. I don't know if I can afford it. I don't know if I need it. This is not my favorite color, but I do like the bag. It doesn't matter. Put that into your garbage bag, because you can always decide you don't want it later. But if you make your decision once you get there, you go, wow, I'm really glad I have both of these, because I actually do want both, then you have them. But if you're debating between two things, you put one down, when you go back for it, it might not be there. So anything that you're sort of humming and hawing over, throw in your bag. Don't ask questions while you're going through the initial run. And then at the end, when you're sort of really making sure that you know exactly what you have, so that you're still within your budget and that you haven't overspent, or that you didn't pick up some random things, you can have a sober second thought later. But while you're running through the sale, just put everything you need to think about later into your bag. You can decide later. Number 6, do not drag your garbage bag. Let me repeat, do not drag your garbage bag. And this is something I have learned personally from going through many, many different warehouse sales. Whenever they give you that garbage bag and it starts getting heavy, your first inclination is start dragging that thing, because the last thing you want to do is whip that over your shoulder or pick that up, because there is so much stuff. It's just easier to drag it. And unfortunately, as you start to drag, the plastic bag starts to wear, it starts to catch on whatever's on the floor, and suddenly you have a gaping hole and you've lost some stuff. Or worse, you've damaged the things inside your bag. So if it was pristine before, now it's got this huge scuff mark, or it's got a rip, or it's got a snag, or it's got this huge drag stain, and you've ruined that perfect thing that you were so excited to get, and now you can't find a replacement for it. So when you're there, if your garbage bag that you have full of lug items gets heavy and gets full, lift it and place it, lift it and place it. So as you're moving along the circuit, as you're going through the sale, lift and place, lift and place. place. What I usually do is I will lift it and place it right on top of my feet so that as I'm looking through a bin, the bin and me have a little bag in between. So I'm standing facing the bins and like the boxes of the sale, and then I've got my garbage bag sitting on top of my feet between me and the boxes. Because the other thing that happens sometimes too is some people will pick up the wrong bag. So if you put your bag down, it's unattended. One, there are, believe it or not, people who will go into your bag because they see something they want, take it, and off they go. Although that's never happened to me at a lug sale, but it has happened to me at other sales. And the other thing is they could get it caught and run over it, and now whatever bag you had that was really, really good has now been caught by someone else's bag, and now it's ripped and ruined. So I always keep my bag right in front of me on top of my feet. Number 7, if you happen to get a larger bag, put the smaller items in it. So if let's say you happen to get like a Via Travel, and that's one of the bags that you've picked up, and it's not brand new in a plastic bag. If it's opened already, put the littler things. So if you happen to find a couple jibs and a wallet, put the smaller things inside the larger bag as opposed to putting everything into the garbage bag, because the garbage bag is only going to be able to put up with so much. But if you put all the little things into the larger bag, and the larger bag sits in the plastic bag, it doesn't things don't fall out quite the same way. And don't worry, it's not like you're stealing, because when you get to the cashiers will open up all your bags and take everything out anyways, and they'll assume that whatever you put in your bag you're going to purchase. So they'll make you purchase it unless you don't want it, and then they'll just throw it back in. So they will check your bag. So like, don't feel bad about that. If they say, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, just say, I'm just trying to conserve space because I know I'm going to be buying a lot. Number 8 and number 9 are sort of the same. Make sure that you check every single part of that bag. Some of the items will be brand new. Some of the items won't be. Some of the items, I think, now this is, I'm just only assuming, some of the items are actual returns. So they could be warranty claims that have come back because something's damaged or broken or missing. If that's the case, they will probably put those things in the sale, but sell it for really cheap. So the last time I was there, they actually had parasails? No, canoes for $5, but some of them had broken zippers, or there was one or two of them had stains on them. So, it's $5, but there's a little bit of an issue with them. So obviously, if it's just a little stain on the bottom, you can't see it, you're good. You probably go home and, give that a little scrub and it's done. But if it's missing a zipper, or if the zipper pull has fallen off, then it's a bit of an issue. So make sure that you check all those things, because some of these things might be returned, some of them might not be. But if you don't know what it is, then you have to make sure that you see all the things that might be wrong with it. And the other thing too is, most of the time they actually do put a little label, like a little sticker or something on it to say, stain on bottom, missing flap, whatever, zipper pull missing. But sometimes those little labels and those little tags have fallen off and you don't know. So just make sure that you check everything. And even if it's like a brand new product, or it looks like it's really good because there's a tag hanging off it, doesn't mean that there isn't an issue with it. Because people definitely have received, really damaged items that are brand new. They've never taken the tag off, and it has to go back before they even have a chance to take the tags off. So be very, very cautious of that. And the other thing that you have to look for, number 10, look inside for the tags. So inside every item, every lug item, there's a little white tag with a lug logo on it, with a code number, and then like a few little instructions on it. And that is because sometimes they will put a mark on the tag to indicate that this was a bag purchased at a warehouse sale. So sometimes they tear the little tag on the inside, or they put a red mark on it, or they put a black mark on it. So if it is indeed something that has been returned and has been part of this warehouse sale and it's not returnable, they will put a little slash or a little tear or whatever, or sometimes both, so that you can't actually try to lay a warranty claim on it later. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes the things that are brand new, that are literally still in a bag, those ones they don't touch. So just be careful. And also sometimes they'll say like sample or whatever it is. So you want to make sure that the thing that you're getting, what state this is in, and whether or not you can ever make any kind of a claim for it in the future. So the next few photos that you're going to be seeing now are things that I got directly from the warehouse sale. The first two here that you see, the one on the left is an actual price list from the sale that I went to March of 2019. And you'll see there everything is color coded. So if you are grabbing whatever bag, you look inside, you look at the label, and you look at the color that it is, and that's how much you pay. So that's a little price list I was saying. So we can get a couple of those. It's a good thing. You can see this one was the one that ended up in my pocket, so it's all crinkled, but I did lose the other one. I was really glad that I kept this one because I was able to bring this home and keep it as a little bit of a guide as to how much I paid for everything. The picture on the right, if you look behind that teal flyer, it is just of a little bin there. You can see there's a couple of different colors. That's going to be kind of what the bins are going to look like, of things where they're kind of like returns or, one-offs or whatever it is. There's going to be a bin of random stuff. So you're going to have to dig, you're going to have to look and make sure that everything in there actually is not damaged. But you do have a lot of digging to do. So if there's going to be stuff like that, there's going to be a lot of digging and a lot of, going through, and sometimes you'll find 10 of the same thing. Sometimes you'll find one of something. So that flyer you saw there was the only one that I saw in the entire sale. And luckily I was able to get that for my friend for $10. But just so you know kind of what you're looking at. So this is a different price list altogether. This is a price list that I got from 2019, the July 2019 sale. As you can see, they've gotten rid of the color coding, and instead what they've done is there's a first quality price and there's a red mark price. And the reason for that is because this sale, most of the items that were there were brand new in bag with tags. So you were very possibly going to see the brand new item in a bag, and you were also going to see the used one that was damaged in a bin in the middle of the sale. So they had to distinguish between the two different items. So if you bought a brand new Ace, it's going to be $40. And then if you happen to find a used one in the bin with no tags and no bag, that one's going to be $20. I have a feeling this is going to be the price list that we're going to see, or this type of price list, so that you can sort of distinguish between the brand new items and the used or the damaged items. So just keep that in mind, that when you're looking at these things, and just because it's on the list, by the way, doesn't mean that it's actually there. I think sometimes there was like one or two items. So if you see it, don't freak out. It definitely freaked me out because I was like, well, where are all these things? So it is a little bit disconcerting when you see your favorite bag on there and you never saw it. But you may be able to ask some of the staff, because they might actually be able to tell you where it is, or they may actually have one in the back. So it is worth looking at that list. And if you happen to see your unicorn bag, you may want to ask the staff. And if they say, no, whatever's there is there, that's cool. But you never know, because sometimes they actually can dig one out for you. So the next few photos that you're going to see are the photos that Lug actually posted on their Facebook page a couple of days before the sale actually started in July 2019. And what they did was, once they set the whole sale up, and they were ready to sort of, have people show up, they took a few photos just to give us a bit of a sneak peek as to what was going to be there. So here, as you can see, most of the things that you see are all brand new in bags with tags. And that's the way that particular sale went. I think we're going to see a little bit of both. I think we're going to see a lot of new stuff. We're also going to see a whole lot of returned items as well. So I'm just going to let you sort of take a look at them. I'm hoping that at some point, a couple of days before this coming sale, Lug will do the exact same thing. Once they set everything up and everything is organized, they'll hopefully give us a couple of sneak peeks of some of the items that we're going to see at the sale. So that's it. I hope those tips and tricks were helpful for you. I hope that gives you a little bit of a guide and helps, make things a little bit more efficient for you if you're able to come to the sale. And I hope you're coming to the sale. I really, really hope that somehow, even if you're far away or busy, that you are able to somehow find a little bit of time or transportation to get here. I think it'll be worth it for many of you. I think, especially if you've never been to a warehouse sale or a Lug warehouse sale, it is a very, very fun experience. And I feel badly for all of those of you who can't come. I guess you'll just have to watch the videos and look at the photos of the people who do get to go. I am praying that I'm going to be able to go. And if I do, I will try my very best this time to actually consciously make a decent video, although I might not be able to, because once again, I think I'm going with a friend who always is tapping her watch, letting me know that there's not a lot of time left. And it's going to be busier for sure. So I may not be able to get the video, the footage that I'm hoping to get, but I will do my very, very best But either way, if I buy anything, at the very least, you get to see my haul. So if you have any other questions, if you are going, please feel free to leave me any comments below. I do have an email now, so if you just look down in the comments, you'll find my email. If you want to email me directly, please feel free to do so. If there's anything I can help you with, even if it's just like things to do in the area because you're coming from out of town, let me know and I will do my best to help you. So I really hope you're coming. If you are, have fun. Good luck. And maybe I'll even see you there. I'm hoping to be there on Thursday. So yeah, we might even run into each other. And if you aren't coming, maybe find a friend who does live in the area. Maybe they can do some shopping for you. That's it for now. If there's any other updates from Lug, I will be sure to post them here. If they post photos, I will be sure to post them here. And I'll make another video in the future as well. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry about the long video. Take care. I'll see you next time.